Hey there, everyone. Welcome back into the New World Old Soul podcast. Thank you so much for being here once again as I welcome in my pulchritudinous wife, Melissa. Why do you look confused? That's just
that doesn't sound like a compliment.
That's absolutely in my regular vocabulary. I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you look that up?
I don't have a window pulled up on my laptop right beside me here from dictionary.com.
You got an online thesaurus to come up with a word.
An online what?
Thesaurus.
A thesaurus, I think is what she's trying to say.
That's what I said. Thesaurus.
Is that some kind of dinosaur I don't know about?
A thesaurus stops.
It's a killer lisp that you have there.
They were on the
No, I don't have a window open up in the laptop right beside me here from dictionary.com with a bunch of synonyms for the word beautiful. Not at all.
Did you seriously? Now I feel like I'm lisping really bad.
I don't sound smart. It's my dictionary.com word of the day.
It's very smart.
Isn't it everyone's goal to hop on their podcast to sound super mega intelligent?
Mega intelligent. Speaking of.
As we always do.
Happy birthday, President Trump.
Happy birthday.
Today's his birthday.
Today is also Flag Day.
Oh.
Speaking of, we're going to have some hot holiday talk.
Sexy.
That's what we're all in store for here today. It's a bigger discussion to be had, but we're going to go over a couple of things. Father's Day is coming up. By the time this is out, Father's Day will have come and gone. So happy belated Father's Day.
It will have elapsed.
To all my fellow fathers out there. Alliteration. Fellow fathers.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to play this first video that I have for you? You have not seen this as of yet, but it pertains directly to the holiday that is Father's Day.
I'm going to get my little thing. I don't know if you guys have noticed, we have stopped wearing the headphones and Jeremy has decided that these are superior.
We got enough complaints that I addressed it. I swapped them out for these hearing aids.
I don't like these, so I only use them when I absolutely need to. They hurt my ear.
Total waste of money.
Sorry.
The sound quality is not nearly as good as
I like the big headphones.
We look like Mickey Mouse, though. I do love them, but they are distracting. I get what a lot of you were saying.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now we got these.
So this is a 2-minute, really quick video about Father's Day. It is a comedian by the name of Ali Sadiq, who I'm vaguely familiar with. This popped up on my Facebook feed because no Instagram for me. But I thought it was funny, and given that Father's Day is going to have come and gone by the time everyone is seeing this, I thought it was appropriate. Let's play and discuss, shall we? Because I thought it was actually...
All right.
He makes some good, very valid points that I've thought to myself in the past.
Father's Day is the worst holiday in the world. Mother's Day is the second most celebrated holiday in the world. Christmas is first. So that means it's Jesus,
the right order.
Then your mama. You know what Father's Day fall at? Number 20. Halloween is number 6. That means ghosts and goblins go before fathers? Arbor Day is number 13. I don't even know what that is. Columbus Day is number 16. Celebrating Columbus Day is like celebrating somebody finding money in your house. Where you get that $50 from? I discovered it in your kitchen. Don't nobody even have a sale for Father's Day. Who has a Father's Day sale? Mother's Day sale is like 30 of them. Everybody have Mother's Day sale. Don't nobody have no Father's Day sale. Who has Father's Day sale? The dollar store. Father's Day sucks, and I'm a father. I did all this work to be a father.
Isn't that funny?
I mean, it is, but yes, that's true. Is it really the 20th?
So no, I dug into this further because I thought the bit was, first of all, hilarious. I'm a huge stand-up comedy fan. When we were down in Texas, we went and saw
We went to the Mothership.
Yeah, it was our first comedy show ever, and we had a ton of fun.
Yeah, we went to Joe Rogan's Comedy Club. If you guys are ever in Austin, go. I'm not a huge comedy fan, but it was great to watch in person. It was hilarious. Everyone was drinking except for me because I was gigantically pregnant.
Melissa was really worried that she was going to get called out for being pregnant in the second row center stage.
They couldn't see me. I think I was far enough back, thankfully. But it was really good. The only bummer was the very next night afterwards, Joe Rogan was there. We missed him by one stinking night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know why?
Because It's us.
No, because he was at the inauguration.
Oh yeah, we went on.
That's actually why he wasn't there.
We were there during that.
No, so you asked whether or not all of the information he put out there was true and factual. It is not. There is actually zero list that I could find with like a compiled list in order of the most popular holidays. But
so he's just complaining.
He raises a good point because I've always thought this to myself. Mother's Day is in May, always usually floating around your birthday somewhere, coincidentally. Father's Day follows closely thereafter in June. And he's right. As far as the sales and the attention and I mean, like commercials on TV, there is so much that is done for Mother's Day and very little done for fathers.
Do you think it's because guys have to be told to shop? Like, hey, Mother's Day's coming up.
No,
buy something for your mother or for your wife, where like women just know.
I don't know what it is. I started thinking about this. I'm like, why is that the case? Because I have thought this to myself
I don't need
before.
to be reminded that it's Father's Day. Like I know.
I think it's because, here's my theory, and ladies, don't get mad at me. I think women just care a lot more than men do.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think guys are like, I don't care. I don't care what we do. Feed me steak.
The kids were asking me, you know, like, hey, what are we doing? And they were concerned, like, hey, Father's Day is upcoming. We need to do something for dad, which I appreciate. I don't need anything though. And that's always my response.
They got you
like,
a gift.
I'm like, don't worry about it. Just be good is all I ever ask. I'm like, you want to give me a gift? Let's have a nice, calm, relaxed day to where nobody's getting in trouble. You guys are helping out, contributing, you know, do what is expected of you. And we'll call that my gift. And that'll make me very, very happy. I will say though, that in years past, probably mostly because of you and your encouragement and guidance with the kids, I've gotten some amazing gifts for the kids, and never has it been the like material possessions that have been given to me. The best Father's Day gift I ever got was a song.
The song
was a song, which sounds really like corny and cheesy. It made me, because you guys know I'm a crier. It like brought tears to my eyes. The four of them worked on it together. Nevaeh played her guitar, and the four of them like harmonized, and they each had their part. And Eli and Kira were still so young when they did it, which made it absolutely adorable. But it was so sweet, and the song that they chose to sing was like, you guys, it was fantastic.
So cute. I wonder if we can find it.
Yeah, it's somewhere. It's got to be like on your Facebook or something.
Yeah,
I'll try to find it and plug it in here. But it was so incredibly sweet. But I think men don't care as much as women do.
Well, I don't know that we care. I don't think most moms care. I think we want the same thing. We want everyone to be good, and we don't want to have to cook. I think that's like a big thing. Is like, I don't want to have to clean and cook on Mother's Day. Like, make me dinner, or let's go out to eat or something like that. And I think most moms are happy. There's not this huge expectation of moms on their kids or their husbands.
The commercial aspect of it, though, definitely is ramped up for Mother's Day.
Yeah, the spending on Mother's Day is through the roof. But I don't think any mom, I mean, there probably is some moms, but the majority of moms out there, I don't think they're expecting what Tiffany's is expecting.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, we should celebrate moms. We just had our 5th child, and credit to all you moms out there, what it is that you have to endure.
Yeah, you were there in the shower.
Yeah, what it is women have to
chocolate.
endure, like absolutely deserves 100% to be celebrated and acknowledged. And usually, well, maybe not usually, but it's certainly the case for our family. Like I always say this, that you are the strength of our family, and that should be recognized and celebrated. And so when it comes to me, it's hey, yeah, it's great. Like, I appreciate it, but I don't know. Me and holidays, I'm just kind of weird about it. Like, it's very commercial and kind of sucks
you don't
the
like
meaning out of it.
Holiday, like Hallmark commercials anyway. So do you even care?
I mean, it's nice.
You want to be acknowledged?
No, I don't. But I don't need to be acknowledged. Like, I get it.
So we're not celebrating tomorrow?
No, we're going boating tomorrow. We got this new boat. A lot of you, if you watch this over on Good Simple Living, now know this. You asked me what I wanted to do. I said boating.
Boating. He said it's so fast boating.
Yeah, the weather's going to be great. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's not going to be too hot. Anything over like 80s, I'm very hesitant to bring Mike on the boat right now. So you guys went out this week because it was 90 degrees or 91, 92. Too hot for baby on the boat. So
it's been so great though.
Him and I stayed home with Nevaeh, and because she had some work to do, and you just took them. It was a middle child day on the boat.
It was. Yeah. Which is kind of nice.
The peanut butter and jellies of our lives.
We had a good day. We went out, went boating, did a whole bunch of swimming. I took them out for ice cream before dinner afterward. So I think middle child day was a success. They had a lot of fun with dad.
Yeah, they did. So that was good. So we're all going to go out. I'm going to make charcuterie.
Not all of us. We have somebody that's missing, and I will point this out.
Yeah.
Nevaeh is out of town currently.
Yes. She'll be back by the time this comes out. We're not like exposing the fact that she's gone.
Right. So Nevaeh, our 18-year-old daughter, is actually down in Dallas, Texas right now for what is the conference that she is attending?
I don't know if she wants us to tell.
Well,
Because she has her own video coming out.
yeah, we'll let her tell the story. The reason I even wanted to bring this up is because she's back in, can I say where she is?
I don't know. I don't know. No.
She's in another location.
Okay, yeah.
And almost immediately, once again, if you guys follow here on the podcast, which I assume that you do since you're here viewing or listening right now, we had an issue with Nevaeh last year where she traveled down to Dallas, Texas, and attempts were made. We had to involve law enforcement to where
Homeland Security.
Yeah, there attempts were made to lure her into what we are assuming based on the information that we've received into like a sex trafficking effort operation,
like right from the
of some
airport.
kind, right from the Dallas International Airport.
Yeah, they literally followed her to her hotel and then popped up at her hotel. So pretty scary.
Nevaeh is not here currently. She's in another location. She calls us up on day one. And what do you know? Another bizarre circumstance just happens to
Same city.
the same city. So
Yeah.
she's back down in Dallas for this conference. And
This time we did everything right. We had a friend pick her up from the airport at baggage. So like she was never alone, go in his car directly to the resort. She's not leaving the resort, but yet there was somebody at the resort that was being really weird. Like she had a really thick accent, like a Nigerian accent. And then she was asking to take photos with Nevaeh. She was asking, how long are you here? Are you here by yourself?
which would be odd
Trying to
by
take pictures
itself.
of her. Like, oh
But
my
she
God.
said, hey, my phone is dead.
Yeah, my
What was
phone
the-
is dead.
the,
Let's meet up. Like, she was trying to get Nevaeh to meet up with her outside of the resort, making sure she was alone. Like,
Didn't she try to take possession of Nevaeh's phone somehow?
no, I don't really know. I have talked to Nevaeh more about it. She just called and was like, oh my gosh, again. And
Yeah, so we're trying to like, hey, go, do your thing and see what it is that you can
well,
make
apparently
happen. And then all of this once again.
that highway between the airport and this resort is very known for trafficking. It's like where
Hotspot.
they exchange people. And so she was told because she went right to security. She did everything right this time. She went right to security, said, hey, there's this gal. She's trying to take pictures.
Hotel security.
Yeah. And then security at the event that
Conference.
she's at. And
Yeah.
they took it more seriously, which makes sense once you figure out where she is. And they took it really seriously and they said trafficking is a massive problem here in the city. You did the right thing. Thank you for telling us. We're going to watch out for this woman. And they'll use like good looking guys or women to try to like gain the trust of other women.
It's
So,
Taken. It's the movie Taken all over again.
yeah, I know. I'm just like, okay, no more Dallas alone ever. Like that's it. That was your second.
It's just so frustrating when we're trying to encourage her to like take a little bit of risks
Yeah.
in life to further herself, to, hopefully benefit herself. And which actually is working out fantastically on this trip. She'll
Yeah,
have-
I'm so excited to share stuff with you.
I don't want to
guys.
overhype this.
I know. Well, and it's hers to share, and she's
Yeah.
making a vlog. It should be coming out, I think, within the week, and it's pretty exciting.
Very exciting. So that aspect of it is really, really cool. I'm glad that things are working out favorably. But again, it's just so incredibly, it's so frustrating that you can't allow your 18-year-old daughter to go out and try to make something out of herself
Yeah.
without encountering issues.
Yeah. Well, I mean, women for centuries had chaperones, and maybe we need to bring back the chaperone
We
thing.
were already concerned because of all the strife that's happening right now across our
Right.
country with the peaceful protests that are occurring all over the place.
The peaceful riots. It's No King's Day today, also, which is okay. That name. Don't even get me started. So anyway, it's No King's Day today. And there's riots everywhere, even in our little town, which is cute. They organize
not a
like
riot.
a little.
We're not having a riot.
No, we're not.
Here because we don't tolerate that
It's
here. But
probably a couple poster boards on a bridge, but
yeah,
it was nice that they wanted to join. So that's happening. She's in Dallas. It's probably really popping up over there. So again, she's not leaving the resort. She's not downtown.
we gave her the talk, but she won't be here for Father's Day, which is kind of a bummer. But you know what? I'm glad that she is out there. We realized after she booked her
First
trip that it
Father's
was going to fall over Father's Day, which, you know what? It's an adjustment. It's something for me to get used to, for both of us to get used to, because as time goes on, hey, the kids aren't always going to be around on
Birthdays
these holidays.
and holidays.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like the beginning of, a new era.
This is the first holiday or event that she hasn't been at.
Yeah.
but she's working. I mean, she's working now, and this is for her future career, and she needed to go. It was very important that she go to this.
Very proud of her. I'm glad to see it. I really am.
Very excited to share, but we're not allowed to.
Yeah, we'll get there. But big things happening for that girl.
We should have her on the podcast. So she started her own kind of like a podcast. It's like a Reacts channel. It's called Right Side Up with Nevaeh Souza. It's a new channel. Go over there, show her some love. It is so good.
Please go over there and support her. She's doing like
a really good job.
Incredibly impressive things, guys. And she's my daughter, but I'm telling you, I'm beaming. I'm so proud of her. But she's devoting so much time and effort into the second channel, and it's not paying the same dividends that like her fun little vlog channel is.
She made 81 cents.
I mean, literally, but she's, you know what, it's like her true, genuine passion project. And I think it has a lot of potential. I want to encourage you guys to go over there and check it out. Make sure you hit subscribe, like her videos. The girl's putting so much effort in. This most recent video, I think, was her best one yet, covering everything that's happening over in Seattle. She reached out to a frontline reporter, a guy who has, like, he's a notable name. She managed to land him. Had an interview with that gentleman on her video. So go check it out.
Yeah, somebody was like, this is very disingenuous because you're pretending to have an interview and it just comes across so cheesy.
Pretending?
Yeah, they thought that it was a pretend interview. Like she took someone else's footage and then she pretended that she was talking to the guy.
Okay.
And it's like, no, she was really talking to him.
Yeah.
So he's a frontlines reporter for Turning Point USA. And Turning Point actually helped her with her video and it was pretty cool. So
big things coming for that girl.
Yeah. It'll be really, really fun to watch.
To piggyback on all of the strife and the peaceful protests that are happening in our country.
It's just a couple of people watching cars burn, having fun.
They're just having fun, Melissa. I don't know what you're talking about. Let's couple that with our holiday discussion here with a quick, have you heard about this effort to cancel the 4th of July this year?
Anyone who knows Jeremy knows that he wears his clothing forever. He wears them until they are unrecognizable, and then they magically disappear while I'm folding them. So I have been bugging him for a few years to spruce up his wardrobe with a few really nice items, and that is how we found Huckberry. They have the best timeless and high quality pieces that fit every single occasion, because when you're going to wear them for the next few decades to work, play, and adventure in, Huckberry is perfect.
That's right, Mama. Very, very true. So here's the thing. I absolutely hate shopping. So I love that Huckberry is a complete one-stop shop for the coolest brands for clothing, footwear, and gear, and they all ship directly to me. I don't have to go anywhere else, and I know that I'm getting the best quality, and it's not only going to be comfortable, but it'll actually last for years, because you know what? I'll be wearing them for years.
And I appreciate how stylish Huckberry's in-house and third-party brands are, because now he has clothing that he can wear to work in, but he can also go out to dinner in it or wear it to a guest podcast, because they are versatile and tough against anything that he's going to throw at them. The Flint and Tinder brand is my absolute favorite. It is just very classic and manly.
Thank you, Mama. Huckberry also offers a lot of my favorite brands like Danner, Carhartt, Patagonia, and a bunch of great new brands that I'm just learning about. But I will admit that my wardrobe is much improved, and I'm actually really glad I checked them out.
So if you or the men in your life are anything like Jeremy and they appreciate stylish quality, timeless clothing and footwear that they can actually wear for years and not worry about them magically disappearing into a garbage can in a room where we think that they will probably not look, definitely go check out Huckberry by clicking our link down below. I heard about the effort to cancel the 4th of July. Did you hear I don't know exactly what he is in Mexico, but he's basically saying, all right, we'll agree to build the wall, but we want the 1830s line.
The border?
Yeah.
So like all the way up to Oregon?
Yeah. So he's saying that because there's so many Hispanic named cities that we need to respect the fact that these actually belong to Mexico, and that like in certain parts of California and New Mexico, the official language is Spanish, and therefore they belong to Mexico, and they're
where is the official language?
Demanding,
Spanish?
I don't know. There it's not.
Maybe as like a secondary.
Yeah, and they're demanding like the land back, and so.
Well, good luck with those efforts. I don't think that's going to pan out favorably.
They're saying that, like, did Mexico just declare war on the United States? Like,
anyway, bigger discussion to be had there. We're not going to.
Yeah, I literally just read that and I was like, that's super interesting.
We're not going to get too in the weeds with that. Okay. But this is a very short compilation. It's like a minute-long video. There are longer versions. I just couldn't find any that would suit this podcast episode very well.
It's about the 4th of July.
Yeah, here's basically what's happening with those on the left in our country who are going online, making a bunch of videos, encouraging others to cancel and not celebrate.
Get my very comfortable earpiece that I'm so glad you bought me.
The 4th of July this year. You got that? Ready? Plug it in.
Here it is.
I want to remind everybody that July 4th is canceled. It's canceled. It means nothing. It's trash. It's garbage. It's something we vomited up, apparently. The 4th of July, if I hear a single firework, if I see a barbecue out there, mother, it is canceled.
We are expected to celebrate freedom when the truth is we are far from free. And our taxes pay for it. Honestly, think about it. Do you really believe you'll feel good this year standing there looking up at fireworks, pretending everything is okay? We won't pretend that explosions overhead make us independent while our rights, our voices, and our futures are being sold off behind our backs. Instead, we reclaim the day with solidarity and silence.
Okay,
That
then.
sounds sterile.
I will turn it over to you for some reaction.
I plan on watching explosions overhead. Big red, white, and blue explosions. While I wave my little flaggy like Dumbo.
Yeah, me too. So these people, I mean, extreme example, maybe, but I find it troubling the number of people who are going online making these types of videos.
Well, it's a trend this year. So there's a lot of cities warning people, like, maybe don't attend the crowds, don't go to the firework displays, consider not doing parades because they're going to be targets. So I think there will be a lot of protesting. Hopefully it does not turn into rioting for these 4th of July events. So
Sad.
it's really sad to watch the nation and patriotism break down. And now patriotism is viewed as like a negative thing.
These people are mentally unwell. I don't think I'm out of line in pointing that out. The second gentleman
I don't
there,
know. The lady with the cotton candy hair seemed
pretty stable.
on it.
I'm not trying to demean anyone for those of you out there who may be offended by these words, but come on, like regardless of where it is that you fall on the political spectrum, we should all, I think, acknowledge that we live extremely freely in this country. The irony of that second gentleman's statement of we are not free while literally exercising his freedom of speech online killed me.
In other countries, you could be arrested for that. In other Western countries, you can be arrested for putting something online that is deemed to be hate speech or inciting violence or a riot or anything, and yet you're allowed to do it in the United States.
This is what I'm saying. So despite his claims, I'm like, dude, you're literally exercising the freedoms that we get to enjoy in this country. I mean, making this video while complaining about our country, saying that we are not free. Yeah. And sure, you're not free to do whatever it is that you want. He's pointing out that, yeah, our taxes go to pay for our freedom. Well, that's not exactly how that works. I'd make the argument that a lot of people, a lot of families have sacrificed everything, including their own lives, to ensure our personal freedoms and liberties here in this country, which most definitely deserves, once again, to be acknowledged and celebrated. We live in an amazing country. Yeah. I become so frustrated hearing those who disagree with that sentiment. It's so incredible. Like, if you don't love it, leave it. Sorry, I'm one of those people.
Yeah, I feel that way too. Like, if you're burning our flag and things like that, then go somewhere else. I loved who was saying that the citizen exchangement program.
Exchangement?
Yeah.
Exchangement.
I can't talk right now. You know, when you breastfeed, like, it takes 25% of like your mental power.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah,
no.
I just read that. It also makes you aggressive. So if you want me to pop you for my weird
She's kicking you under the table right now.
No, it's true. There's like, it produces like lactin, and then lactin for nursing mothers makes them very aggressive, like a bear.
Anyway, exchangement. Go ahead.
So exchangement is what we're going with. Who was just saying that? See, I can't even think of names anyway.
What was the point of the question?
The point was that if you feel so passionately that we need to be giving out citizenship to just anyone that breaks in and comes across the border, if you like, why don't you give up your citizenship?
Right.
It's an exchangement.
Okay. Yes, an exchangement. Yeah, no, I did hear that. And yeah, interesting proposition.
I like it.
You dislike our country. Mm-hmm. You want those who don't belong here to be able to come here and remain.
Yeah.
Forfeit yourself.
Oh, it was Tyler Oliveira.
Shout out Tyler Oliveira.
I like Tyler Oliveira. He's kind of like an independent journalist / vlogger on YouTube. And I've watched him for years. And all of a sudden he started firing back at people because he made a video that's got people very upset during very high tension times. So he fired back and he was like, you can give up your citizenship. You go to their country and then let them come here. And, it's just, you cannot have a nation of open borders. Like, try to go to any other country and just walk in. We are a nation of laws and order, and there is a path to citizenship, but you have to walk the path as my grandmother did and as your grandparents did. So this whole like, well, you're all immigrants and everything. Yeah, but there's legal immigration and then there's just invasion.
And there's assimilation. You should come here. You should learn the language. You should adopt our culture, and you should try to contribute and work, as we all do, to making this the greatest country on earth.
Yeah, it used to be very different. Like, your last name back in time would have been De Souza, coming from Portugal.
Yep.
And now it's Souza because I don't know, a lot of people think like, well, that sounded more American. My family's Greek name was Chalapatani, and it sounded very Greek. And so now my papu goes by Chalice, and he did, like, all the family was Chalice. My grandma's name was Demitra, and she changed it to Diane. And I'm not saying people need to change names.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
But before, when it was our grandparents coming to the United States, like, they wanted to be Americans. And I would never advocate for someone changing their name or like losing their culture or their language or anything, but also appreciate the country that you're coming to. Don't try to turn it into the country that you are leaving, but like embrace. There can be a marriage there. Like, it doesn't need to be.
I'm totally with you. Like, you should take pride in your ethnic culture, 100%. But when it comes to,
makes America interesting.
Yeah, when it comes to nationality, you are here. You enjoy the perks and privileges that we have living in this country. There should be a lot of pride to come along with that as well. That's something that you should be willing to fight and die for.
Well, I don't really understand people that refuse to come to our country legally, refuse to go through the proper pathways that other people had to go through and went through. And now those people are angry because they're like, well, I did it the right way, and you need to do as well.
Yeah, I've seen some clips of legal immigrants. I watched a clip, I think it was one of Charlie Kirk's clips, actually. It was an Italian guy who had like the stereotypical Italian accent. It was beautiful. I actually love the Italian language. Yeah. But it was so funny because he was so frustrated. He's like, I don't understand these people. I don't understand the people who are trying to fight for those who are breaking our laws and do not belong here.
Did you see the Mexican restaurant that was taking care of all of the
first responders?
Like, the first
I did
responders.
See that. Yeah, those are really cool clip.
So they got all their windows smashed in and they got their whole business looted because they were taking care of first responders, feeding them, giving them water. And they were all, they came to this country legally and they're running a business. And so, okay, they're Mexican, but they're not the ones that are being, like, they literally had their business destroyed.
Yeah, so much respect for those who stand up, even against, those that they identify with, those from their same background and culture.
It's like, okay, so
rules is rules, man.
And when they showed the video, it was like these Antifa, like, white guys breaking in and smashing their windows. It's like, you're so woke that you're attacking a Mexican-owned business while rioting or protesting or supporting Mexicans. Like, it just, like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you're literally destroyed their business.
They're just opportunists.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is. Like, all the looting and everything. You're literally just trying to get some cell phones and stuff. You're not doing any good by doing that. And so this whole like no kings thing is annoying because I've got several comments on our vlog video, which we don't get political on Good Simple Living at all. It just doesn't. Okay, well, not really.
Mildly.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, not really. And except for when we went to Daily Wire, except for that. But anyway, I've got comments like, okay, so you don't think that your president is acting like a king? I'm like,
nope.
No.
A king would not allow for these types of videos to stand. A king would not allow for these riots to occur.
Yeah.
A king would not allow for those that are peacefully protesting. That there would be none of that.
Yeah, the National Guard and the Marines were called in because the governor of the state was failing to protect the law-abiding citizens and the businesses.
Gavin Newsom's a good guy, Melissa. Come on.
Yeah, so people that are actually following the laws that live in California and people that have businesses there that are being looted and destroyed and burned and people whose cars are on fire needed help. And when he's not letting LAPD do their job, the National Guard needs to come in and support LAPD, and then the Marines needed to come in and support the National Guard, and he did the absolute right thing in protecting American citizens and businesses.
All of this is absolutely out of control. It's been incredibly frustrating to watch from a distance, especially as a now retired law enforcement officer. Let me put this out to all of you out there. For those of you who maybe still live in these metropolitan areas and maybe experiencing some of these quote unquote peaceful protests as they keep trying to sell us on.
I think they're going to go all the way till the 4th of July.
What are your thoughts and your feelings on what is occurring here in our country and in maybe some of your cities? Because we are so far detached from any of it. We left all of that behind when we left the Portland metropolitan area where I was a cop and I dealt with a lot of these rioters. It's frustrating because I've been there, and I think the reality of the situation is lost on a lot of people out there. They're so dismissive, wanting to chalk this up as being a peaceful protest. Put yourself on the front line where you're being called absolutely horrific things that you are not. I've been called, name it. I've been called all of these things. I've had attempts made to light me on fire using lighters and silly string. I've seen the water balloons filled with urine.
So gross.
Being flung at myself and my fellow officers. This behavior isn't beneficial in any way. It's completely non-productive. And like we said earlier, it's not people who are actually standing up or standing for anything. It's people that are cowards who mask up and anonymously just become as destructive as possible out of frustration, maybe. I don't know. I think it's just a bunch of people who have nothing to lose themselves.
Jerks, yeah. Because and they'll literally compare themselves to the MLK marches and stuff. No. When Martin Luther King was marching, they had signs, they would sing gospel music, they would walk through the streets, and people listened because they were legitimately being peaceful. They didn't break windows, they didn't light anything on fire, they didn't steal from people. You were not the same.
And they were confronting racism.
Yes.
They were standing up for what is
peacefully,
good,
truly
and
peacefully,
righteous.
And they made a difference.
God bless MLK, his efforts, and all of those folks. It's a apples and oranges
type
of situation.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. These are people. We even have politicians who are essentially going out there. They're literally standing with those who are rioting and destroying their own cities. And on top, the hypocrisy.
Well, I don't think a lot of people are even from the cities. They're bussing people in. They're putting ads on Craigslist to pay people to come, which is insane. And then did you see the TikTok trend? So there's all these TikTokers that are making messages that are supporting these peaceful protests, but every single one is the same script, but they're acting like it's their words.
Yeah.
And so I forgot which one who posted it, but it was literally 50 different TikTokers saying the exact same thing.
Well, we saw the same thing from media outlets with news anchors from all across our country reciting the same scripted material. We saw it with, I think, did we do it on the podcast where these Democratic figureheads from the Democratic Party were all reciting the same script? It's just flat out propaganda and gaslighting. To remain so adamant about the fact that these people are just peacefully protesting and having a good time watching cars burn. Who lit the cars on fire?
And whose cars are they? Your cars? If you lit your own car on fire and you're like, I'm having fun watching my car burn, that's very different. But these cars belong to other people that have hard, jobs.
And then we're standing on overpasses, or we're flinging concrete, rocks, whatever it is you can get your hands on at law enforcement officials and their vehicles. This is not the proper way of going about things, regardless of your stance. Nobody taking you, at least. I saw another clip of this guy who's coming out saying that, to the rioters, the majority of Americans agree with you. Highly, highly disagree and dispute that. There's no way that the overwhelming majority of Americans stand with these rioters and their actions.
Yeah.
In fact, to the contrary, I've seen a lot of information being put out that most people are supportive of the efforts that are being made by the Trump administration to actually uphold the law.
Yeah.
As we all should be.
It's super sad. And I hope it doesn't continue through the entire summer, but.
This wasn't at all what we intended to come in here and
it
talk
wasn't.
about.
Yeah.
But I want to point out just the hypocrisy in going back to Gavin Newsom, because somebody made the point, and I completely agree with him, that they are standing by literally encouraging all of these riots to occur in areas that aren't the most affluent, let's say. If this were occurring in Beverly Hills or Brentwood, do you think that their stance would be different? I guarantee you that it would. Let them go do this on the PCH in Malibu, and let's see whether or not the law enforcement response is different. I'm telling you, as a former law enforcement officer, it 100% would be, because these people are absolute hypocrites, and they would not stand for or allow all of these people with money to have their stuff destroyed.
Yeah.
It would never happen.
Or the people with the money aren't going to be like, oh, they're burning my Benz. They're just having fun.
You want to destroy a restaurant in a far less affluent area? Have at it. In fact, keep going. We stand with you. Let the same thing occur in Beverly Hills, and let's see what the reaction would be.
And these are legal. A lot of them are legal immigrant businesses. And it's just really sad, because it's like, okay, you don't care about immigration. You just want people. Like, I don't even know what is their message exactly. You just want anyone to be able to come into this country, stay, live off our tax dollars, bombard our schools, medical system.
I don't know.
Like, that's your message? Because that's not the way that the world works. That's not the way that the world works anywhere in any country.
Open the door to your house.
America?
I always use the same analogy. Like, you want these people to be here, okay? Then open your door, have them stay with you, and you, the individual, provide for them, right? Let me walk into your home. Let me dig through your fridge. Would you be okay with that? Why not? If you have this open door policy, let's see it through the whole way.
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with racism. It has nothing to do
absolutely not
with like not wanting immigration in our country. There is an avenue to become a legal immigrant, and to become a citizen of the United States, you must go that route. Period. Like that, there's background checks and things required.
Simple as that. So again, we'll put it out to all of you out there who are watching and are listening. Let us know what you think. If you have any firsthand experience with what it is that's been occurring, let us know down in the comment section. How do you feel about all this being so far removed from it? We live hours and hours and hours away from any metropolitan area. It's life, as was sort of the case, as was absolutely the case with COVID. It's like we're completely unaffected by this. How do you feel about that?
No, we have a one in our town.
Yeah. Not going to be the same.
I'm guessing it's like 20 people.
Hey, you know what? If it's a peaceful protest, I'm all for it. I disagree with you and what it is that you are attempting to
don't block
stand
traffic.
for, I guess. But
It's only one road to town.
Don't be disruptive, and make your point. Hey, you want to stand there? You want to scream? You want to holler? All for it. I will stand there to help uphold your right to do so. But I vehemently disagree with you.
I'm not going to stand there.
I'm saying I would. Let's say I was still in law enforcement, as was the case back in Portland. Like, hey, if you want to,
you meant like you're going to attend. I was like, why?
No, if you want to peacefully protest, have at it. At the same time, hey, the second that protest now becomes a riot, and there's any type of destruction of property or harm directed at someone else, I will be the first person to intervene and say, no, you've crossed the line. Now this is no longer a protest.
Yeah, it's not peaceful assembly.
And you are in violation of the law.
Well, people are like burning cars and they're like, oh, this is our constitutional right. No, actually.
Nay.
That's theft and destruction.
Nay. But how are you feeling about it, though? Melissa and I have always believed in the power of storytelling, the kind that lifts you up, inspires your faith, and reminds you of what truly matters. This is why we love what Angel Studios is doing. They're bringing us films that honor God, celebrate our country, and instill the values that we can stand behind. Movies like The Sound of Freedom, Homestead, and The Last Rodeo.
Right now, when you join Angel Guild, you can stream King of Kings, a breathtaking animated film about the life of Jesus. That was just in theaters over Easter. I've seen how movies like this can touch hearts and change lives, and trust me, you do not want to miss this one, especially if you have children or grandchildren.
I'd like to tell you a story, son. Some say it's the greatest story ever told. It has angels and wicked kings, jealous rivals, and miracles. Open your eyes. Our story begins 2,000 years ago. The young woman named Mary would soon bring a beautiful baby into the world.
Wait, whoa, stop. If it's not about a king, then I'm not interested.
It just so happens that this story is about a king.
One prophecy speaks of.
Angel Studios is delivering family-friendly entertainment that leaves you feeling good. Films that champion faith, freedom, and self-reliance. We're so happy to support them, and we'd love for you to join us and enjoy all that Angel Studios has to offer.
Just go to angel.com/NWOS to become a premium Angel Guild member today, and you can stream King of Kings plus so many other incredible titles right now. We're all feeling it. Costs are rising on everything: gas, groceries, home repairs, and if you're a homeowner, you've probably thought, should I call American Financing to refinance and pay off this credit card debt? then you second guess yourself because of that low mortgage rate that you currently have.
So listen, that low rate, it's not saving you if you're drowning in credit card interest at 25% or more. And that's the math that nobody wants to face, but it's actually costing you thousands.
Here's the truth. If you are only making minimum payments, that debt is going to follow you for years. And that's why people are calling American Financing, because they are saving customers an average of $800 a month by using their equity to finally break free from that credit card debt.
You owe it to yourself and your family to see what's possible. There are no upfront fees. There's no pressure. It costs you literally nothing to find out what you could save every month. And if you start today, you may be able to delay up to 2 mortgage payments.
Call American Financing today, 866-885-8027. That's 866-885-8027. Or go to americanfinancing.net/New World. I'm glad that we're out here. I'm really glad that we're out of the action now. I grew up in Seattle. Seattle was my home. I loved it. We would go down to the market. It was very, very neat city. In the 80s and 90s, Seattle was super cool.
It's a place to be.
Yeah, it was grunge capital. We had all the good music. We had great outdoor events and festivals. Yeah. And now it's just ruined. Like, it really is. It's still a beautiful city, but it's been driven into the ground with illegal drugs, and the homeless population is so sad and all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, it started with like opioids, and it's just now with the fentanyl, and it's horrible. Like, they're telling everybody should walk around with Narcan because you're going to see people that are dead on the street that you can save. And it's like, what?
Yeah. Why are we allowing this? Why are we allowing this decay?
I don't know. And it's always the beautiful cities too.
It is. Like Washington State, where we were previously prior to moving here to Idaho. I mean, it's a night and day difference. Mm-hmm. Like I said, going back to COVID, it's like COVID didn't even happen here, which may sound crazy to so many of you out there, but literally there was zero change in day-to-day life. Everyone was still out and about. Everybody was still gathering. You very, very rarely saw anybody wearing a mask. Every time you saw somebody wearing a mask, it was a good reminder of like, oh yeah, that's right.
Well, I bet they're from like a different city or a different town, or they're visiting.
Yeah. And people like out of towners, especially, we are in North Idaho, so we're near the Canadian border. Every time we saw Canadians, they were just like,
well, yeah.
What's happening now?
They weren't even.
I remember running into people from other places though, and like hearing and seeing the reaction of like, what is, you guys are all lunatics. Like, what is happening?
Yeah. Why are you guys pretending nothing's happening? Yeah. But yeah, it was different. It's nice to live out here. I love this little town. I don't ever really plan on leaving it as my home.
Yeah. But what makes it sad is that I feel like we can't venture and roam. Like precautions have to be taken, and people out there
other people live in those cities. We're just so far removed that we feel like it's not safe to go, but you can still go.
It's not safe to go.
Well,
what I would say.
I wouldn't go to Israel right now.
No, I wouldn't go there either.
But I would go to Dallas.
But there are a lot of people who would probably, and like we have traveled, but it does make me a little uneasy because I know that threat level is just different. It is. And
things are springing up.
For those of you who maybe think that I'm paranoid, I will tell you once again, as a former law enforcement officer, there's a lot that's happening around you that you are unaware of at any given time, and knowing the realities of so many of these metropolitan areas, there are precautions that should be taken.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just operating on a wing and a prayer, hoping that you are not victimized in some way.
Yeah. Well, I hope that people calm down about the 4th of July. It's a great holiday. It is our Independence Day. It's worth celebrating. We still live in the freest, greatest country in the world, and it would be really sad to watch, parades and things that have gone on for decades be canceled this year. I'm really hoping that doesn't happen, but I have seen on the news already that they're kind of discouraging people from getting in large crowds and stuff for the 4th of July. Gatherings.
That's what I'm saying. Just gatherings of any kind. Scary. It's you're very susceptible.
And then there's a lot of people that are like, no, don't let fear control you. Just go. But it's like, but when you've got your children and stuff, like I understand taking that stance, but at the same time, you have to weigh risk and reward.
Yeah, absolutely.
We tend to avoid gatherings.
On that note, I hate to even bring it up, but I wanted to get your thoughts. We're recording this on Saturday, as you guys are watching this past Wednesday, when we will release this episode of the podcast. For the past, 36 hours or so, there have been missiles that have made their way from Iran to Tel Aviv, Israel. Scary, very scary images.
That was crazy
You want to comment on that? Not that we are experts by any means.
Yeah.
I always want to reiterate that when we tackle these subjects. And I hate even bringing it up because I know that there is a faction of you out there that watch us on a regular basis who don't like when we delve into these topics. But I feel like it's so important. It's something that impacts potentially all of us. So
Yeah. Well, I saw this. I was watching the news last night, and this one guy's like, "Do you think this is the beginning of World War III?" And this guy's like, like you never really know what point it is until after the war, and you go, "That's when it started."
yeah,
And he's like, maybe we'll look at last October, not last October, but 2 Octobers ago as the starting point.
Yeah.
Like that was the spark, or maybe it was yesterday. Or maybe it hasn't happened yet. Maybe it's 20 years from now. Maybe it never happens. But he's like, it's all hindsight because something starts these big global conflicts.
well, and we know that at some point things do go to crap.
Yeah.
I mean, it is all foretold.
Yeah.
And
if you believe the biblical timeline. I mean, well, there's other people that think Revelations already happened with the.
yeah, but again, I
fall
think
of
it's so frustrating. Again, with voices that I listen to on a regular basis and really respect, the Tucker Carlsons of the world. Israel's different, and I feel like that isn't openly acknowledged enough. It is the Holy Land, and for that very reason,
Wow.
we should pay more attention and maybe approach with a little more care or concern. I guess.
Because I mean, ultimately, Jesus walks back through the gates of Jerusalem, and I don't know what shape Jerusalem's going to be in at that point. So Glenn Beck actually put out a post yesterday saying like, pray for Israel. And he just got a rash of crap. So then he said, when I say that, what I mean is pray for their existence and their right to exist. But that doesn't mean that I agree with everything they do. And he's like, and it sure doesn't mean that I am advocating for us rushing in to war with them. So I do not want to see the United States get involved.
Happy ending is what we all have to be
Yeah.
hoping for, but it's so hard to even entertain the possibility of that idea when it seems like things are only just beginning. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you never know. So a lot of times countries get drug into these conflicts.
That's what it feels like is going to happen to
So
us.
Iran is threatening U.S. bases. They had to take U.S. troops in Libya and Iraq and other places and have them go into bunkers yesterday because there were threats.
High alert.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that they don't attack U.S. forces. Trump has said, do not attack U.S. forces. Like, this was not us. Do not. And so they've been warned. And so I'm really hoping that they're not poking a bear because maybe they want that conflict. And if they do, they know how to get us involved. I'm really hoping that doesn't happen, not only for the safety and the lives of our troops overseas, but also for our nation. I mean, these wars in the Middle East, they start out easy, like they start out like, we're going to go in there and we're going to bunker bomb them and like we're going to be triumphant, but they go on for years. They're incredibly expensive and we lose so many American lives.
Yeah.
And it tears American families apart because you end up with soldiers with PTSD. You end up with soldiers not coming home. You end up with families that are just separated for years. It's just, war is horrible and ugly. And my prayer is for, yes, Israel's right to exist, but also for peace because, and I mean, I don't know, maybe that's just wishful thinking, probably when you read the Bible. It doesn't look like peace is going to hit that region, but I'm just hoping that America doesn't get dragged into it.
Yeah, but you referenced the comments, and I've been doing the same thing. I've been watching a lot of these videos on YouTube, and the anti-Israel sentiment that's out there right now is something that I never thought we'd see again in our lifetime.
Yeah, it's got to be really hard to be Jewish in America. Well, Jewish anywhere.
But and I don't know, it's always frustrating too, like hearing so many of these voices try to like come up with this line of delineation between the Jewish people, the Jewish state, and the Israeli government, saying that hey, we're supportive of the Jewish people. There's no anti-Semitism here on my part, but I don't understand like special treatment for Israel. I'm not saying special treatment. I'm not saying blind allegiance, but we should just make note of any of these conflicts when it comes to Israel. I mean, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, for such a small, little, insignificant piece of land. I mean, what's it, the size of New Jersey?
Yeah.
There's just for all of time, there has been this focus on destroying the Jewish state. And clearly it's biblically based. Clearly it's biblically inspired or satanically inspired.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like everyone's missing that part.
Yeah, I think it's easy to say, I don't like what the government's doing. I don't like to see children being harmed in Palestine. And so we're angry at these people.
I don't like to see death and destruction.
Right. Nobody wants to see kids and families hurt.
Trump makes that statement and he catches flack for it. I want to see, I want the people to stop dying.
I want the dying to stop.
And that becomes a controversial statement. Why is my question? Why? Isn't that what any of us should ideally pray and hope for?
I'm hoping that he can keep us out of this because he likes to make a deal. He likes to strike a deal. It's like his favorite thing. And he wants Russia and Ukraine to stop fighting. He wants Palestine the Palestinian state and Israel to stop fighting. Like he's always trying to get people to stop fighting. He's trying to prevent China from going into Taiwan. And so I'm hoping he was negotiating with Iran for a nuclear deal, but now everyone he was negotiating with is
deceased, unalived.
Yeah. So that kind of went to crap. I think that they were supposed to have a meeting tomorrow.
It's all just so frustrating.
So yeah, like
it's stuff that's completely outside of our control. But
yeah, I mean, ultimately God is in control.
Yeah.
Ultimately, He knows how this ends, and we don't. So the unknown is the scary part. I think the big thing is like make sure when you're watching the news or you're discussing it in your home. Like I was kind of like yesterday when we were talking because Eli walked in the room and he is a worrywart and a half. And he was just standing there with his eyes all big, watching missiles rain down. And I was like, look, like, see, they have I was explaining the Iron Dome. I'm like, see when it flashes, like, that's when they get the missiles and now it's not going to fall on the people. And he's like, oh, they got one. Like, so.
Yeah, he's always very concerned. But even Kira was asking me if this was the start of World War III.
Really?
Yeah. Which I don't like.
Yeah, well, I remember being a little kid.
Yeah, like the Gulf War scared
the Gulf War scared the crud out of me. I remember literally sitting down in my basement on this weird little brown Afghans thing. Like I remember so many details about it when it started firing up and we were watching it on the news with my parents and just having this fear thinking, like I couldn't figure out how far away is that and is it coming here?
Yeah, contextually, it didn't make sense to me either. When I heard that we were going to war, I envisioned that there were going to be like troops from other countries storming into my home is what I thought.
Like what you see in movies and stuff.
Yeah,
I thought that's what was going to happen too.
The scary part of that is that, I mean, civilian casualties in these modern wars it's not a foreign concept by any means.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and when you start talking about these weapons of mass destruction, like there will be civilian casualties, and we've been so blessed, especially in our lifetime, to not have to experience any losses here in our homeland. But
we had 9/11.
Yeah.
And what did that do? It drug us into a big fat
act of terrorism. We're not necessarily active warfare, but yeah, it's just scary times. And seeing the volatility across the world, whether it be Russia, Ukraine, China, Taiwan, the alliances that are being forged, it's just. It's incredibly, incredibly frustrating. I'm like, come on, everyone.
Yeah, there's nations that are kind of waiting for America to be distracted so that they can act on their own interests in other parts of the world. And that's how you end up with World War III is like, okay, America's been drug into this over here. Now we can strike over here because America's distracted. Yeah. And then you end up here, and it's literally like Japan and Germany all over again.
No bueno.
Yeah, so I think the main thing is like check on your kids, make sure that when you're watching the news or you're discussing it in your family that you're not scaring them and talk to them, ask them how they're feeling. Do you have any questions? Reassure them. And I mean, I'm not saying lie to them, but like, sugarcoat it a bit. Like it's scary and it's not for the minds of little kids.
No,
it's too overwhelming for them and they don't understand the geography of it. And so, yeah, I've been trying to talk to Eli about it. Like, well, now I feel like I need to go talk to Kira about it. Like, I didn't know she was worried.
I don't know that she was concerned. I think she's just kind of feeling things out. But even, last week we had a fire.
Yeah.
A couple properties over. We showed that in a Good Simple Living video. And of course we were concerned given the circumstance. But, we
were buzzing around.
We were buzzing around and we were watching it. And you and I were talking amongst ourselves about what was happening in the moment. And Eli caught wind of that because he was present and he became extremely upset.
Yes.
To the point like he needed some reassuring, like, no, hey, we're okay right now. Like you don't need to be concerned. You should become concerned when mom and I become concerned.
Well, so, he thought we were concerned. So we were jumping in the car to go show the footage that we had to our volunteer fire department because it was up a ridge where there's no roads and they didn't know what they were dealing with. So we thought, well, we've got footage of it. We'll show them what it looks like and where the location is, and maybe they can make out like a road or something. They were looking for like old logger roads or some way up there.
Yeah.
And they didn't have a drone. So we were like jumping in the car to rush down there. And Eli goes, what's going on? Like he thought we were like evacuating. And I was like, no.
I was like, what do you mean? What's going on?
Yeah, you're like, it's fine.
Everything's fine.
But he was really scared because I think as parents, you start talking, you start buzzing around, you start going, ooh, this isn't good. Yeah. And the kid hears, this isn't good, you know, and they take that like, this is bad. Like,
that wasn't good parenting on my part, not my proudest moment. I was like, you don't have to get worked up
you're
here.
Like,
Everything's fine.
But he needed like, because you kept saying, this isn't good. It's getting bigger. And then he's like, ugh. So when you're 10, you're like, that's it. The world's going to burn. Like grab your best lovey and get in the car. Let's go. Yeah. So yeah, I think this is kind of the same thing. We need to make sure that our kids are okay. But yeah, there's so much going on now. Like between
it's the riots, season of crazy.
Now, oh my gosh, like this morning we woke up to 2 Democratic lawmakers in Minnesota that, you know, one has been assassinated, her and her husband. And then the other guy, I don't know what the status of him and his wife will be when this comes out, but they're fighting for their lives. They're in grave condition. They've already had surgery. They were shot multiple times in their home by somebody in a police uniform with a police cruiser. I don't know the details yet. As of today, the man's still at large.
Yeah, we'll probably know more by the time this comes out.
Yeah, but I mean, just crazy stuff happening. That was politically charged. So, I mean, there is attacks.
And unacceptable.
There is attacks and there are just crazy people on both sides right now. Our nation is so fractured. And when you're looking at the strife around the world, we can't afford to be fractured. We need to start figuring out ways of fortifying our country, coming together as Americans, being proud of being Americans, putting America first, and, you know, taking care of our families.
No easy task.
Yeah.
What do you suggest? What's the solution? How do we get there?
I think it starts at home. Like, you know, like make sure that the American families are safe. And then it starts in your community. You're
not going to get that across the board, though. That's the problem.
But I mean, yeah, anywhere where there's community. So, and seek out community, but not destruction.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between the two. So,
well,
I don't know.
Hopefully the week ahead will be much more uplifting one.
Yeah.
Like I said, we did not intend to come in here to discuss this.
No, we were going to talk about just Father's Day and we just went. But there's just so much going on and it's like disingenuous to completely ignore it.
Yeah, it's hard. And like, I get it for the people who always comment of like, hey, why are you guys delving into this? Like, I get it. I'm with you. I get it. But kind of like Melissa just pointed out, it seems weird for us to cast all of these, you know, cares and concerns aside and act like and pretend like it's not happening. So hopefully that's acceptable for those of you who are still here at this point of the podcast. And
there's like crickets.
Yeah. You know, we always just try
for the two of you that are still here. Thank you.
We always try to come in here and just discuss what it is that we are feeling, you know, impassioned about at any given time or whatever it is that's going on personally. Not that we always want to make it personal. In fact, to the contrary, we like discussing things that don't have anything to do with you or I or our family. But you know, it's the reality that we are all collectively living in currently, unfortunately. And so I hope that everyone out there can at least appreciate that. Not that we're anybody and not that our opinions matter more than anyone else's.
Just opinions.
But, yeah.
Just our thoughts on it as an American family. It's just our thoughts and the kind of discussions that happen in our living room.
Yep. Amen, sister.
Amen.
There it is.
Brother.
It's become the weekly tradition here.
I can't call you brother. That's weird.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel right.
No.
Is it okay when I say it?
Amen, daddy.
People
think that's weird too.
Also sounds weird. Yeah.
Remember when I called you that and then my dad answered?
No.
Oh yeah, it was like a couple of years ago, and I was like, "Daddy, hand me the," and my dad's all, "Here, hon." I was like, "Okay." I haven't called you daddy since I was 5, but I love that you answered. And I was like, "I meant, never mind." It was very confusing.
Daddy. All right, let's pray for a better week this week. And in the meantime, happy Father's Day to all you dads out there.
Yeah.
Sorry that we're not celebrating you like we celebrate
I'm sorry
moms.
that it's the 20th holiday celebrated. I hope that you got some suspenders and a barbecue.
No, but in all seriousness, we hope that you guys have a good week. God bless you all. We're going to be back in here next week. that the
I
plan?
believe so. We are working on a very fun guest, actually somebody that you guys have been asking for and brought up quite a few times. So we're working on that. I'm not sure if that's going to be next week or the week after, but we're going to play it by ear.
Okay, either way, we will see you guys soon. Till then, take care. God bless. And we'll see you then.
Living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men know